We just want to, let's say, congratulate all of you for the work you've done so far under the Voice Project. Such a pleasure.
This week we've been holding a capacity strengthening bootcamp for the US Awards of the year 2023. So during the organizational capacity assessment, we got to realize these organizations have different gaps, and that informed the curriculum for this bootcamp. So basically we understood their pain points in different areas, let's say monitoring, evaluation and learning, how to develop a strategic plan, and we are expectant that for the documentation these organizations didn't have prior to the bootcamp, they will have the same and operationalize the same by the end of June.
Organizational development really is about working with organizations to diagnose what are their strengths and areas of weakness and how to improve them, and understanding how they came to be where they are. And once we understand that, then we are able to support nonprofits over time. You will recognize that right now a lot of organizations were founded by very passionate people, visionaries who wanted to make change in their community, but they are not necessarily managers. So they have a wonderful idea, they start an organization, and they don't know how to run an organization. So organizational development comes in to support such leaders to build their organizations, their programs, their systems, their culture, so that they can achieve their mission more sustainably.
What I'm going home with at an organizational level, we've been having varieties of gaps within an organization, and this was a great platform for us as CAM Initiative to come and fill in the knowledge gaps that we've been having within organization. For instance, we didn't have a strategic plan within organization, and we've been taught on how we can develop one.
Your strategy cannot exist in your mind. It has to live in your core team. It has to live in your enablers. It has to live with your executioners so that they know exactly where we are headed. A lot of organizations actually are not terrible at creating a strategy. They are terrible at communicating it clearly to the people who are meant to deliver it.
The vision bearer would provide direction on the strategy, because in order for you to develop a strategy for an organization, you need to be aware of the vision, you need to have been sold out to it. So when we sit down and develop a strategy, we're all in line, we know where we are going and what we are trying to achieve. So I think that's one of the foundations of building a good strategy. The entire team is sold out to the vision.
I always say in life, foundations are very important. A foundation is what ensures, depending on the winds of change, if you will stand or if you will fail. Because correcting a mistake is more costly than starting off the right way.
I was so burdened in regards to how a board is able to work and execute its responsibility. But now, being equipped in regards to how a board ought to run effectively, thus also with the dynamics of the 1/3 gender rule, and also seeing to it that the board in itself is inclusive, is basically a takeaway home for me. And well, in light of the financial management, I, in my own small capacity, am able to account for what has been availed to me for the sole purpose of transparency, and then also propagating the cause of the organization in that particular light.
So the outstanding word for board development was the DEB for me, in that when you're coming up with a board members, you have to consider so many things like the DEB stands for diversity, inclusion, and equality, and also the belonging. Whoever is going to form the board, to be the part of the board, has to feel that sense of belonging.
There's a difference between leadership and governance. Sometimes you can have a leader without the governance structures. So it ends up that the leader is tyrannical, or He's just he doesn't have specific structures that guide his decision makings. So, and then you can have governance, where governance is just bureaucratic, things that follow a strict kind of way of leading. But with combining both sides, you have structures in place, and then you have someone who's visionary and is able to be flexible and adjust the processes so that we are all able to achieve the end goal.
I would love to really appreciate the stakeholders we have worked with ELF Africa partnering with Voice was amazing way for us to now empower and shift the power to the grassroots organization and the community at large. And we have worked with consultants and facilitators who have given more than was expected of them.
In our own capacity as an organization, we are looking forward, I'm looking forward to see to it that whatever I'm been able to acquire from this particular training is applied in each and every facet of our program as a whole and in my docket as a whole.
It was evident that they understood the assignment, they enjoyed the sessions, and each person had a major takeaway. And on day one, when they came in and we had a circle of introduction and expectations, what they expected from the bootcamp, it is beautiful to learn this morning that all expectations have been met. And that is why I say we created a 100% beautiful experience for them.